everyone today?
We hope you're well. We're back for another Live at 5.
Live at 5. Okay, like, put this upward.
I know, I'm trying to push mine as far out the way
You can't quite
as.
see it because the light shines on it.
Yeah.
Hope you're all having a lovely week. Wednesday.
Yeah.
It's not the weekend anymore. It was the weekend. It's now Wednesday, and we're in the middle of the week. Hope you're all having a great day. Today we're smashing fat loss myths because let's be fair, there's loads of them.
There's lots of them. Now, these are the kind of things that creep up in magazines that somebody tells you, like, oh, did you read about this? And this is the way to do it. And you hear everything about it. And then really, the truth remains, there are things that work. There's things that will never work. And we're going to burst them regardless.
Something's going.
We've got them all right.
Something was going crazy with my computer.
I'll just get the comments up. So if you are on the lives right now, please leave us a comment.
Just let us know if you're here. I'm going to turn this around a wee bit because yours seems like out a wee bit.
There we go.
Can we just move them over a wee bit? Oh, sorry, but move them over that.
Different setup than normal, eh?
Yeah.
Is that better now? You just like them in the middle of the room.
I do. I like the cow head being right in the middle. It kind of satisfies me. Looks better, right? You seem to be like completely off to the side on Facebook.
No, because on
Why is
YouTube
that?
I'm fine, I don't know.
I think you just move over a wee bit.
Well, I'll try, but there's not much more room to go. One of those things. So weight loss myths. So one of the first ones we're going to talk about is, do you have to drastically cut calories in order to lose weight? Now that's, some of these weight loss programs out there have based their whole ethos on drastically cutting calories. Now, drastic cutting calories, if the average female needs 2,000 calories a day, drastically cutting it would be taking anything below 1,000 or even 1,200. It's quite drastic, isn't it?
We've worked with many people. Obviously, our background, before we started the Kilted coaches, we were personal trainers working with people on a one-to-one basis through their fitness, nutrition, mindset, and that's where all our knowledge and expertise has come from, and our experience. And you gain a lot of experience when you work with people on a one-to-one basis. You really delve into the nitty-gritty of their lifestyle, and we can absolutely analyse their diet and their nutrition side of things. And it's so common if you're at all interested in weight loss and losing a few pounds, feeling better about yourself, the natural instincts are to go, I need to cut out a bunch of calories, and therefore you just start cutting out. And we've come across as many people who then come to us like, I just can't lose weight. I'm only having 1,200 calories a day and I'm not losing weight. I just don't understand it. And you're like, it's because you're only having 1,200 calories a day, sometimes less. That is the reason you're not losing weight.
Unfortunately, it takes you down quite a dark path, because let's just say you cut calories as it is. You've scalped them, 800 calories. You're down to 1,200 calories a day, right? And you're doing all these changes. You step on the scales and you don't get the result you're looking for. So then you think, well, I can't do any more exercise. I can't eat any better than I was eating. I know, I'm going to cut even more calories. And that's when you get into the drastic range. And then you step on the scales. And then if you're not happy with the result, guess what the person normally does? They cut calories again, they can't sustain it, and they spring back and they come to the conclusion that they can't lose weight because they gave it a go. Cutting back calories too much absolutely trashes your metabolism. You know, and if you cut back too much, your body basically says, I need calories, I don't know when I'm going to get them again, so I'm going to prime to store so that when they do come in, my body's going to hold on to them as much as possible because they don't know when they're going to come. Again, feast or famine, if you like.
What you're constantly doing is, like the law of attraction. You could argue that this is actually part of this. What are you attracting into your life? What message are you sending to the universe about how you want your body to be? It doesn't. Law of attraction is not like a thought in your head, like, I'm going to attract this thing because I'm thinking about it. No. It might start up here. It might start in your head. It might start as a feeling in your heart. But ultimately, it's your actions that speak to the laws of attraction. What are your actions saying? Now, if you're cutting out a bunch of calories, what message are you sending to the universe? You're sending this message of, I'm starving, I'm restricting the calories. Therefore, your universe is going to want to slow things down because the universe wants your body to survive, to be, here for many years to come. So the best thing to do, if you're cutting out calories, the easiest thing for your body to then go, right, I'm listening to your message, we will cut back on the calorie expenditure. So you just adjust your metabolism to match. And that's why people end up very cold. Now, if you've got cold hands and feet, find yourself shivering, if you feel yourself you can't focus properly, can't sleep at night times, these are all big warning signs that you are cutting out too many calories and your metabolism has dropped.
Now, whilst you will need to reduce calories slightly to lose weight, you do not need to drastically cut calories.
Weight loss comes from creating a calorie deficit. Now, unfortunately, many people hear that and say, calorie deficit? What does that mean? It means, I need to cut out a bunch of calories and I need to do loads and loads and loads of exercise. And actually, we're going to get onto that. That's point number 5. So stay around for the end for that one, because we're absolutely going to smash this myth of move more and eat less. It's that common thing people say. That's going to be number 5. We'll get into more depth about that in a second, or in a few seconds. But for now, start to think about the foods that you're eating and the message that you're sending. Okay, that law of attraction. What are you sending? What can we do differently? We want, if it's losing body fat, you want to give your body the right message, the universe, the right message of, I don't need this body fat anymore. In fact, I'm eating good food. I'm feeding my body the nutrients that it needs to survive. Now, calories, yes, you can say that the macronutrients, protein, fats, carbohydrates. Your body absolutely needs them, but it also needs the micronutrients. It needs fiber, it needs vitamins and minerals and phytochemicals. It needs all of this stuff. And if you focus in on getting the nutrients in, as much nutrients as you possibly can, your body will naturally go, thank you very much. Okay, we've got all these nutrients that we need, protein being one of the main ones. And then looking at your lifestyle, your training, we won't go into in depth about training at the moment, but your training can then send more signals. Because again, it's actions, it's not thoughts, it's actions that you speak to the law of attraction through your training. You can tell the universe, I want lean muscle mass and I don't need body fat. That's the 2 messages that you want to be given to the universe. Cutting calories does not achieve that.
Especially not drastically cutting calories.
Hey. So that's number 1, cutting calories. Number 2 is carbs make you fat.
Just like that.
Not all of you, just you.
It's one that's gone around for a while. Carbs became the absolute enemy for a while. Historically, it used to be fat.
Yeah, fat makes you fat.
First
And then they changed it, like, well, that doesn't make you fat. It must be carbs. Carbs make you fat.
There we are. Boom, boom, boom.
It's always easier to blame something or someone else, isn't it, rather than yourself.
Now, if you overconsume carbohydrates, can eat them regularly, too much every single day, what you then is you store glycogen in the muscles, 2/3, and 1/3 in the liver, right? Then what happens is if you don't use those glycogen stores, the glycogen is then eventually converted to fat and stored for later use. So in a long or roundabout way, if you're consuming large amounts of carbohydrate, it can lead to fat storage.
Quite commonly does. Okay, now this is not us saying that carbs make you fat, they do not. But over-consumed carbohydrates, if you're just having bowls of pasta, baked potatoes, sandwiches, even oats, and as much as we love oats, oats are carbohydrates. Okay, if you're having pasta and bread and potatoes and rice, couscous, over-consumed carbohydrates will turn to body fat. Okay, your body will only hold on to they reckon the average is about 2 pounds. 2 pounds of carbohydrates within your body. Obviously, every body is different, but roughly 2 pounds. And if you're not using it, then you will start to convert it into body fat. Again, if you don't use it, you can see a theme starting to appear here. Okay, cutting calories is all about the exercise that you do. Carbohydrates turn to fat, yeah, if you don't use them, if you don't exercise.
You need to be really careful of the mindset, because when people start to believe that carbohydrates make you fat, then anybody wanting to go on a weight loss journey just says, well, if carbs make you fat, I'm not going to eat them. Now what happens is, now as much as there's weight loss plans that restrict carbohydrate intake and mess around with ketosis and whatever, ultimately if you have that mindset, I'm not going to eat carbs because they make me fat, you go down a path of eating fats and protein, which is okay, if you can maintain it. And then after a while, with billboards throwing all these delicious carby foods at you, you're going to fall off the wagon, you're going to binge on carbs again, and you're going to go back to square one. So the answer is not to cut carbs out completely. There are diets out there that do address that, and it's probably for a small percentage of people. But for the vast majority of us, myself included, Moderating your carbs, absolutely, but still including them in your diet. They're usually a fantastic source of fiber. It's a good source of vitamins and minerals as well, and a good source of energy as well, as long as you're not over consuming them.
So ways of looking at this, we do this with our members, and FYI, our membership opens in about 8 weeks time, but more on that later. You can actually just go to our website and sign up to our pre-sale list. But for now, what we tell our members is it's about using those carbohydrates, making sure that you're getting your exercise in, and then replenishing the stocks. Okay, very much like if you are eating carbohydrates, then chances are you've got a loaf of bread in your cupboard. Now, when you get down to the last couple of slices, you might run out completely. You then go to the shop and buy some more bread, okay, or potatoes, or whatever that might be. You go buy some more. Same thing with your body. As and when you start to use the carbohydrates in your body, you can then replenish what you have used, okay? And again, it's a way of maintaining your metabolism. Going back to point number one, cutting out too much calories. By cutting out carbohydrates, you naturally then start to cut out more calories in general, okay? So by replenishing, you're then bolstering your metabolism, you're making yourself feel full, you're filling back your muscles, because again, as Rab said, you store about 2/3 of your carbohydrates in your muscles and then 1/3 in your liver. So you're actually replenishing these stocks. So when it comes to your exercise, again that theme again, when it comes to your exercise, you've got more energy, you've got more power, you've got more strength to then get a harder workout, which then builds your metabolism even more, starts to burn, starts to create a little micro tears in your muscles, a little bit of micro damage to your muscles, which then the repair process afterwards then can build up and increase your metabolism even more, and this circle just keeps continuing. Carbs are super beneficial. What we're trying to say.
Carbs don't make you fat, but overconsumption of carbohydrates can make you fat.
Yes, absolutely. So that's a bit of a, carbs are not the enemy, but too much carbs absolutely is.
So the next one is supplements for weight loss. So there's a lot of companies out there that base their whole ethos around, take this supplement, this is the key to you losing weight. You
can eat whatever you want, as long as you have a supplement.
Yeah. A lot of companies out there, build their brand, well, they are their brand, right? They want you to come away from real food and all you have is 2 shakes a day, 3 shakes a day and all these magic pills. You didn't have supplements 100 years ago. You didn't have supplements 50 years ago, okay? Well, vitamins maybe. But our bodies like and prefer real food. Now, what is the benefit to a supplement? We're not against supplements, but they're there to supplement, not replace. It's meant for example, protein. If you struggle to get enough protein in a day, or if on any given day you're out and about and you're nowhere near some place that you can cook good food or prepare a good meal, then yeah, supplements can help. But they should be exactly that, a supplement, not a replacement.
Yeah. When you start looking at supplements, oftentimes there will be a key ingredient, and a lot of supplements, a lot of weight loss supplements, that key ingredient is caffeine. It's just caffeine. Okay, it makes you feel good. It makes you feel like, and ultimately, caffeine is a fat mobilizer, a fatty acid mobilizer. It doesn't burn extra fat; it mobilizes them, which means it brings them into the bloodstream to be used. But unless you're actually using them, then they're just going to go back into the fat stores. But when you do get other supplements that caffeine's not the main ingredient, you might start looking at, okay, well, this one's got turmeric in it. Okay, because it's an anti-inflammatory, it's going to help you do this. Well, great, just take the turmeric. Just go straight to the source. It might be garlic, ginger, it might be all sorts of different things. Go straight to the source and eat real food before you're turning to supplements. You can actually get ground up, things like garlic and whatnot. I was away at the weekend, and the person I was visiting has got a newborn, and he's got a little bit of a cold, so she rubbed, I can't remember exactly what it was coconut oil, and I know it had some garlic in it, but because he's quite a young baby, he couldn't digest it, ingest it should I say, so she rubbed it on the soles of his feet and absorbed it that way. Woke up the next day, no sneezing, no cold, and again, is that a supplement? Technically it's a supplement because she's taken these different ingredients, added together into something that's not necessarily food, but it's ultimately food things that you're creating your own natural supplement. So supplements can be amazing things.
They can help, but don't look for that magic wonder pill. We all do it where we look for the easiest path to success, don't we? So you see an advert online, take this pill or take this shake and blah, blah, you will get the results you're looking for. And you buy into it. Why wouldn't you? You'd be like, oh, this sounds great. No. Face the reality, because otherwise, if you buy into that shake, you're just going to waste your time. You might get short-term results, but long-term results come from making real change yourself. Lifestyle changes, getting to your bed on time, drinking enough water, creating habits that you can sustain.
Yeah. And I like to give this analogy when we start talking about weight loss supplements. Now, supplements, you get supplements that are good for your health and different things, or more so foodstuffs that are good for your health. The analogy I like to give when it comes to weight loss supplements, some things can give you a little bit extra boost, or it can help tweak a few things. And the analogy I like to give is if you've got an artist, a big sculptor, and you've got a big lump of rock, and the king comes and says, right, sculptor, I want you to create me this beautiful masterpiece, this beautiful sculpture. That one of those sculptures who's got the little kind of willy sticking out, one of those ones. So and he's only allowed 3 tools. Okay, what he's got a pickaxe, he's got a hammer and chisel, and he's got sandpaper. Okay, technically that's 4. Hammer and chisel is 1, right? So when you're trying to create your sculpture out of your own body, it doesn't make any sense. You get a big lump of rock and go, straight, I'm going to use some sandpaper, and you start. No, you start with the pickaxe. So you need a rough shape. You go, right, I'm going to knock that bit off there, I'm going to knock that bit off there, I'm going to knock that off there. Now the pickaxe is you're getting to your bed on time. It's looking at your protein, fats, and carbohydrates. It's making sure that you're active, making sure that you are hydrated, all these little things. That's the pickaxe. And then you get the hammer and chisel, and then you start to go, oh, right, well, maybe I'm having too much carbohydrates, so I'll tweak that. Or maybe I'm not having enough carbohydrates.
Or maybe we're going to introduce a little bit of fasting.
There you go. Okay, so all these little tools are amazing for creating this body shape that you will love when you look in the mirror. And once you've got the pickaxe done, the hammer and chisel's done, and you've got this beautiful sculpture, and you go, oh, that's amazing. Then, and only then, it might be worth going to the sandpaper. But we're talking about bodybuilders who are going to step on stage. They need to be lean. More often than not, like I've been told, like by a bunch of you guys actually, oh Stephen, you've taken that weight loss thing too far. You're too skinny now. I'm like, this is just my body, man. I'm not going to step on stage. I'm not trying to be like super lean. I'm just living my life. I still don't take fat loss supplements. Okay, so it's still not appropriate for me. Yes, I do caffeine. But again, it's just for the coffee, for helping with training, not trying to get lean from it. Okay, but everybody is absolutely different. Some people never get to that sandpaper stage. It's just not required. Focus on the pickaxe and the hammer and chisel tools, which is your fasting. You're looking at the macronutrients to get to bed on time. All these things well before the supplements.
Then on to lesson number 4, site specific. So the myth is, well, doing crunchies get rid of my belly.
Yeah, or doing dips will help my bingo wings.
Yeah, okay. So site specific. This is where, like with the belly fat, for example, it's the first place it goes, last place it leaves. And unfortunately, it's the area that everybody wants to lose from. Like, oh, I'm not happy, I want to get rid of my belly. So then they think, right, I'm going to start doing some crunchies. Now what the crunchies are doing is they're working the abdominal muscles that are underneath the fat. So imagine muscles under there and they're covered in a blanket of cozy fat. Now the muscles are getting firmer underneath, don't get me wrong, but you're doing nothing to address this blanket on the top. People get frustrated and then they quit. They said, oh, I was doing 1,000 crunches a day for 2 weeks and my belly didn't go down. It's like, well, you trained your ab muscles, but you didn't address the energy storage that's coating those abs.
Yeah, you've got to think about how big your ab muscles are compared to, like, say, the leg muscles, the back muscles, the chest muscles. It's a very, very small muscle group. I'm going to give you a little thing. Look at my hand right now. If I was to do it, I'll do it with this one. If I do this with my hand, now my hand is relatively lean, right? There's not much body fat on there at all. But if I do this, if I try and get the right angle, if I do this, see what happens. See what happens in here. Do it from there, and I do that. All it takes a tiniest little bit. Suddenly I've got a roll of fat, or I've got a roll of flesh appearing in my hand just by doing that. Now, my hand muscles or tendons can become very, very strong if I keep doing this. But ultimately, I know that I've lifted weights for a long time, and if I relax, my hands are actually naturally like this, okay? Because I'm always gripping on. Obviously, I'll do judo now as well, so it's always exaggerated now. And I find I'll wake up in the morning and I'll naturally have not quite clenched fists, but they'll be like this. Or if I'm leaning on the wall, they're never fully open. Okay, now that's creating this little bit in here, right? Now, it's not a major problem, it's just my hands. But imagine that same concept on your belly, right? If you keep doing 1,000 crunches a day, what you're going to do is you're going to start to create this little arch in your spine. You're going to start to hunch over. Okay, the rib cage starts to pull it downward. Okay, and what does that do? It starts to create these little rolls of fat. Now you might be thinking, oh, I'm storing extra body fat, but actually, have you tried standing upright and looking rather than going, oh, look at my body fat? Try and stand upright. Pull your belly in, extend your spine, and suddenly then have a look at it and say, actually, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
So site specific, as much as there's a 0.1% like doing bicep curls, yes, it gets the energy, the mitochondria in that particular muscle rolling, but ultimately you need to address the body as a whole. Compound movements, burning largest amount of energy across the entire body. And then unfortunately, when it comes to fat loss, we have our adipose sites, which is belly, backs of arms, backs of thighs, bum, places where we store fat. You can't really control where you lose it from. Okay, everybody loses at different places at different times, and you usually find that not everybody's happy with where they're losing it from. Somebody will say, oh, I'm losing it from my chest, I didn't want it to happen. And someone else is like, oh, I wish I would lose it from my chest, but it's going from everywhere else. Address the body as a whole.
Yes. Which brings us on to that fifth and final myth that we promised you is all you have to do to lose weight is move more and eat less.
It sounds simple. It's the one they're throwing around now because it's quite brutal and to the point. Oh, you want to lose weight? Fine. Yeah. Move more, eat less. Simple.
You don't need a personal trainer. This is actually one of the most common things we've had in our career from third-party people. Also, we train clients that are super happy, they're losing weight, and there's always that one friend that they've got who says, you don't need to waste your money on a personal trainer. All you have to do is move more and eat less. Look at me, I'm super fit and I do it. Okay, stop. Stop. If you are carrying excess body fat, okay, if you're obese, okay, maybe you're 5-10 stone overweight, okay, maybe you've got 100 pounds to lose, 200 pounds to lose. We've got members who came to our clan who've got like, I've got 150 pounds to lose. I'm like, great, you're in the right place, because we're certainly not going to tell you just to move more and eat less. The reason that you're carrying excess body fat is because, well, first and foremost, you might have some emotional issues going on that you're using food as a way of escaping, and or lack of activity. Sometimes you've got depression, sometimes you've got anxiety, overwhelm, all this all this stress that modern life brings into our existence needs to be addressed. Okay, telling yourself or someone else telling you, but ultimately telling yourself, oh, all I need to do is just move more and eat less. That's not helping you.
Now, if you expand on that, it's eating less junk food and it's about eating more nutritious, metabolism boosting foods. There's that other saying, you are what you eat, whereas it's more accurate to say you are what you eat, digest and absorb. Now, if you're eating processed foods and rubbish, and then you say, well, eat less, move more, I'll just eat less of the processed rubbish, you're still taking on processed rubbish. And it's still not going to help your overall approach to your health and wellness. What you need to do is eat more of the right foods, the stuff that's going to boost you, make you feel better, make your skin right, your energy flow, all the right stuff. And we all know the kind of stuff. We're talking fruits, vegetables, good lean protein sources, all that kind of stuff, drinking plenty of water.
It's easy. If you think, eat less junk food. What's in your mind is junk food. If you think, no, I have to eat more good, nutritious food, suddenly you're looking for food. And if it's not available to you, you're like, okay, well, I need to start thinking about what I'm buying here, because eating more good, nutritious food is actually quite difficult when it's not in the house. It's really difficult. But again, if you've got that mentality of, like, eat less shit, you're looking around and all you see is cereal bars and bagels and, you name it, ice creams. You're kind of like, but that's all that's available, and then it stresses you, creates this panic alarm, creates all these stress hormones going around your body, and it's just very damaging to your wholeness, your wholesome, healthy vibrancy.
You don't want to damage your whole.
It comes at the back end.
Your wholeness.
Before we came down to work today, we said we'll have some lunch and then we'll shoot down to work. And I was announced, and there was literally, because we're just due a delivery of our food, there was not much there. And I was kind of like, and the boys have got a little cupboard now. Yes, they've got some cereal bars and whatnot. There's like a snacky cupboard. Everybody's got a snacky cupboard. I was like there, and there's some fruit, and I was like, oh, I could have a bit of fruit. That's not really like great sustenance. And the only thing I could find, because I'm thinking I need good nutrition, I was like, we've got some potatoes, I'll have a baked potato. Took a little bit longer to cook than I was expecting, but ultimately it was there because the mentality was there of, I want something that's going to be good for me. I'm not looking just to eat food for the sake of making me feel full, because ultimately in a few hours time, you'll feel like crap, you won't be able to sleep properly, and ultimately you're putting this processed crap into your body. It's not good at all.
So it's not move more, eat less. It's eat more of the right foods.
Yes. And actually, just the other side of that equation, we've actually got people who've come to us and they've given us the rundown on what exercise they're doing. And you're like, wow. Like they're doing not just more than us, we're talking like 2 to 3 times more than us.
Too much movement.
You're like, wow. You're doing all of that exercise and you're not losing weight. And look at your diet. Your diet is like 1,200 calories and you're exercising sometimes twice a day. Like, I exercise like 3, sometimes 4 times a week. That's it. You know, if you're training every single day, not having much calories, and you're not losing weight, your metabolism, your health, your vibrancy needs to be improved. Okay, it needs some time to relax, regenerate, and you'll find that as your health starts to improve, your weight will then start to come down. Focus in on your health first, because there's lots of companies out there who will sell you supplements. Going back to the supplements, they'll tell you to have a low carb diet, cut out calories. They'll tell you all these things just so they can get a cool before and after photo. Somebody comes to us and they're 3 stone overweight. It's easy to say, cut out that, cut out that, cut out that. Here's all the exercise. You get a cool before and after photo that we can then sell more of our program. But ultimately, it's your health that suffers. Do not fall into that trap.
We'll go to the commentos.
Yeah.
So Susan says, I switched to you too, so hello Susan. And then Jim says, good morning coaches, great topic.
Good days. Andrew says, you make it sound very easy. Shame it's not. Andrew, it absolutely is easy. Okay, that's our main mission. Mm-hmm. We help people who have fallen into the trap of believing that weight loss is difficult. We will make you, hopefully, smile and laugh first. And then you're open to making these positive changes. Andrew, weight loss absolutely is easy when you do it the right way.
Simplified weight loss, it's just about accepting that it's not going to be instant. I think that's the problem, is that people's expectations, it's time and effort. And everybody goes on their own journey. Some people lose half a pound a week, but you do half a pound a week every week for a year. That's quite a bit, it's 25 pounds, right? 26 pounds.
26 pounds, yeah.
Right, and then it adds up. Some people lose 2-3 pounds a week, so everybody loses at a different rate. Yeah. And it's about getting rid of that whole concept of I want to lose it all now, because when you've got the idea that you're going to lose all this weight as quickly as possible, you make it harder on yourself. Whereas if you just chip away at it, keep making progression, keep chipping away at your goals, and before you know it, you're there. Happy days.
Yeah. So, some people base their things on expectations. If you're expecting to lose 2 to 3 pounds per week, but you're only losing 1 pound per week, people then give up because they're like, oh, it's not fast enough. I want it to happen sooner. But you're like, but if we fast forward a year and you're 26 pounds lighter than what you are now, are you going to be upset with that? Oh no, but I want to be fast. It's either faster or nothing at all. You're like, yeah. Expectations. Carlitos, saludos, my friend, from Chile.
Yay.
And
sorry. Kelly says, morning all, and Mama Cancelo says, perfect analogy with the sculpture, as I'm always a work in progress. Thanks guys, and good to see you again.
Cool. Billy Hamilton says, greetings fitness gurus.
Happy days. Anne from the clan, or Anne formerly from the clan, says, hello boys, I'm still chipping away at my pounds.
Hey, well done Anne. I have this argument with my sister, carbs are not the devil, says Anthony.
Good stuff.
And Javier, greetings from DC coaches.
The Kilted Adventure says, good afternoon coaches. Afternoon to yourself. Kilt away.
Stephen says, greeting, I'm Arabic fan, I like you, my stars, I follow you, always stars. Cheers Stephen.
Susan gave us a donation, always have to support my coaches. Thank you very much Susan. Gunshot.
Thanks Susan. Anthony, I had a huge bowl of salad and tuna tonight, I feel good. It's funny how like a really nice meal can make you feel great. And Wayne is a pastaholic.
I'm trying to check how far down you are.
Oh, you're on the Facebook.
Jumped across, yeah. Anthony says, I like turmeric tea.
Cool. I'll just scroll down. to the questions. You two always have such good messages. Thank you, says Heather. You're very welcome, Heather.
Monohydroxide. What was that for, Anthony?
No idea. Nathan says, hello fellas, Essex, England calling. Could one have the odd haggis or homemade Scotch broth from time to time? Also, one must give up smoking. You can have haggis more than once in a while. Haggis is great. It's actually a superfood. If you look at what superfoods actually are, a superfood gives you something that you would normally not get in the average diet. So once upon a time, that was things like broccoli, blueberries, and there was goji berries for a while, chia seeds. All these things have been classed as superfoods once upon a time because they were giving you something that was not necessarily there in the average diet. Nowadays, it's actually haggis and offal in general. You know, so any sort of organ meat is really good for you. And it's, generally speaking, most people have they'll go for a chicken or they'll go for a steak, a fillet of fish. They'll go for the meat, the flesh side of meat, but actually you got so much more goodness in the offal, which is like all the liver and kidneys, etc., heart, and that's what haggis is. You know, yes, it's mixing with a bunch of other stuff, but it's all the offal from these different animals. So it's actually a superfood.
Anne says, miss you. We miss you too, Anne. Hope
We
you're
miss
doing
you,
well.
Anne. The body will store energy in times of famine. It will try to, Andrew, absolutely. Basically maintain a balance of movement and proper nutrition intake. Yeah. Absolutely. We say not necessarily move more because, again, you just don't know what people are coming from. You know, weight. If you're carrying excess weight, it's not saying, oh, that person needs to move more, because we've come across many people who are, like I said, doing 2 to 3 times as much exercise as what we are, yet still carrying this excess weight and not losing weight. So, but it's ultimately, yes, you still have to move. If you're not moving, then yes, move more. If you're moving too much, move less. And then look at the balance of nutrients.
Susan says, love haggis, had some yesterday.
Yeah. See, you saved me. I was listening to this one, and one of my colleagues walked in with donuts. Made it easier just to say no. Ooh. See, well done.
Kilted Adventure never knew haggis is a superfood. You do now.
Bonnie says, where do you suggest people start? Bonnie, that is an awesome question, and we will have something very special for all of you as of next week. We'll hopefully get that up and running probably the next couple of days. So please stay tuned to our Facebook page. If you haven't already, you can actually request notifications for when we post things. Yeah. We've got something in the pipeline. It's actually written on the board there.
Can we give away the name?
Yeah, let's give it. Yeah.
We're going to give you the Reignition program.
Okay, this is about reignition of you and your goals. It will actually be a free program as well. We'll get you on the app. We just need to do a few more bits and pieces with it, but that's where we recommend starting.
You'll also get use of our forum. We'll make a specific forum for the Reignition program, so you can get on there too, all free.
Yeah. So stay tuned. We'll have that available to start to join into it
in the next couple of days,
over the next couple of days. But it'll start officially this time next week.
Susan also resisted the office donuts today.
Yay.
Susan, well done.
Lee says, hello from Missouri. What are your thoughts on intermittent fasting? So Lee, intermittent fasting is one of the lessons in our membership. It's something that is a tool that you could decide to use. We do teach our members a certain protocol with it, but unfortunately fasting is often abused or certainly misunderstood. I don't mean abused in terms of people just abuse it. They unintentionally abuse it. They just think it's a great thing when you lose some weight when you do intermittent fasting because it's a buzzword. Do not do that. Focus in on everything else first. Good nutrition, get the nutrients in, the metabolism up, and then we can discuss fasting.
Anne says, I'm down to 9 stone 6 pounds now, but my skin is flapping, my arms mainly, so I'm doing some arm weights. Yep, and just build up the arm weights and that'll build up the muscle in there and reduce the skin. And look into some collagen as well to tighten that skin up.
David says, howdy from Texas, enjoy following your encouragement and posts. Thanks, David. And Joey Gallon's on, big hugs to you both.
Joey.
Beth, I am my worst enemy sometimes. I tend to justify my cheats. No soda, but more coffee than I should. So you're not your worst enemy, Beth. You just need to sync up the two different selves so that you're in communication and give the one who's being really strict needs to give the other one a bit of a break so that you don't have that sort of contradiction. Just say, I like a few things. I like to enjoy my life, but then that then needs to then give way to actually the person who wants to move forward and achieve more. So be kind to yourself.
But Wiggler says, good reminder, I need to remember to keep having fun. Goal by June is £100 gone, only 25 away. And it's not only 25 away, that's an awesome 25 away. How do you keep from falling in that hole when seeing results? But brain says could do more. When you're seeing the results but your brain's telling you could do more, it's to try and not get anxious about it. If you're getting the results, just keep chipping away, put your mind elsewhere, just believe in the process. Everybody wants to like speed things up, and then you start being hard on yourself, saying I could do more. And the problem is more is not always the answer. Sometimes less is more.
Here's a mantra for you. Just because you could doesn't mean you should. Because sometimes, I could do more, but then doing more could lead to overwhelm, stress, falling off the wagon. I could do a bunch of stuff. Doesn't mean you should do it. If you're getting results, stay the course.
Stick to the damn plan.
Anthony, the best haggis I ever had was in the farm store in the Isle of Skye. Okie doke. Sia says haggis is the only way I'll eat offal. Nathan says, for those that have never tried it, please do it. The food of the gods. Yes, haggis is awesome. Arminda's on. Hi guys.
Hi Arminda.
Nice to see you here. And Marjut Soderstrom, that's a cool name. Marjut says hello from Finland.
Susan says hits home for sure.
And Joe says thank you for sharing when the next program starts. So the ignition program, the re-ignition program should I say, the re-ignition starts a week today, but the doors will open over the next couple of days so we can start to build that up.
It's a free course, so you don't have to spend.
It's a free course, and even if you're watching this on replay weeks in advance, you can join that program at any point over the next 7 weeks, okay? Because it's actually building up to the official launch of our doors opening again to our membership. Our doors to our main membership only happen twice per year, and this is going to be actually potentially the last one of 2022. So yeah, the doors will be opening in about 8 weeks' time.
Yeah, boom. Herman says, hola, saludos desde Chile, besitos. Hope I didn't get that wrong.
Happy days. Our Sharna's on. Hey Sharna.
Hey Sharna.
And hello from Maine, says Laurie. Amanda Giles, hello from Soggy Wales. Still the lambs are gambolling in the field. Opposite, which is better than telly. Absolutely. Yeah, it's a freaking lovely. Right guys.
Rightio. Thank you very much for joining us. Hopefully bust some weight loss myths. Now next week, like I say, there'll be no live at 5s next week because we've got this new course coming which is free, which that'll then be the live. So if you do join that, you can access us that way. We've got a bunch of lessons coming which is going to be awesome.
Thanks guys, thank you for sharing this time with us, and we will see you, in fact we will see you, unless you're going to join the re-ignition program, there'll be no more live at 5s until after the summer probably, after the summer. So take care everybody, hopefully we'll be posting about the re-ignition program, which again is free. Jump on that so that we can take you through 7 weeks of lessons.
Keep your eyes peeled for everybody.
See you soon.
Take care, bye bye.